It's the end of winter here in Colorado. 5 a.m., 5:15 to be exact, right outside of the Crags campground. Today, going to be hiking Pikes Peak from the Northeast Ridge. For a full hike review of Pikes Peak via the Northeast Ridge, you can check the link below. This is about a 16-mile hike, and the winter closure here adds about 2 miles. So in the summer, if you come here, it's about 14. The access to the summit from Pikes Peak to here is pretty safe in terms of avalanche, like almost no risk, and definitely the easiest way to get to Pikes all year round, especially if you're coming here in the winter. After about a mile of hiking, you'll reach the Crags Devil's Playground trailhead here, and just continue hiking that way to reach the start of the trail. Once you reach the end of the parking lot, head towards the restrooms, which are closed during the winter, as I unfortunately found out. And you'll find a little trailhead that I'll show you here. That's the Crags Trail and the Devil's Playground Trail. And that's a trail you're going to want to take. There is another trail over there, kind of straight back towards the parking lot. Don't take that trail. Prime snowshoe terrain right here, man. I don't know what I would do without these. And the gaiters, holy crap, so necessary. Absolutely beautiful sunrise here. Your first trail junction of the day. Left is Crags Trail and right is Devil's Playground / Pikes Peak. In the past, this used to be an unmarked junction, but now they've obviously added a sign, which is great. Makes you not have to think. Continue on this way. Been hiking for about an hour now, about 2¼ miles in, and so far snowshoes and gaiters have been completely unnecessary. So gaiters obviously can pop off, put them in your bag, no problem, but the battle I'm having in my head with the snowshoes is the longer I carry them, the longer I have to carry them back. And they're on my feet now, but on the way back, there's no chance I'm going to be wearing them again. They just slow me down way too much. I know the second I take them off and stash them, it's going to be 50 yards after that, post-holing up to my waist. So I'm probably going to end up bringing them up to Devil's Playground and just hoping for the best after that. Just about 3 miles in, and reached a kind of opening in the trees here. Snow is still super firm. Regretting every step I take in the snowshoes. You're gonna just head up this slope here and then back that way. So far we've gained about 1,200 feet, and yeah, not too bad so far. Just kind of slow going this morning. First emergence from the trees, and pretty good views so far. Looking north. A little lost right now. I can't tell if I'm off trail or just breaking trail. My GPS says I'm like right where I need to be. Woodpeckers making fun of me. But man, there's the track that I was following, which was like very well traveled, just disappeared. Which leads me to believe I probably just missed a switchback or something along the way. Made it back to the trail. Definitely just missed a switchback along the way because it's clear as day where it is now. I'm an idiot. Alright, once you're up here, you're going to want to aim for this ridge right there. Finally reached the saddle I've been aiming for quite some time, and back on the trail, which is great. Up this way. Big moment right here. Ditching the snowshoes officially. About 5 miles in, summit of Pikes Peak is right there, but you still got about 2.5, 3 miles to go to get there. Once again, in the drone world, a super gray area when it comes to Pikes Peak. There are no restrictions at all from a federal level, but the town of Colorado Springs says that no drones are allowed on Pikes Peak. What does that mean? Honestly, I have no idea. It seems like what they're probably trying to say is anywhere on the road or on the summit, but since I'm now kind of in that vicinity, I'm going to consider myself on Pikes Peak, and drone usage will stop, unfortunately, from now to the summit. But don't worry, I'll have some sweet camera angles outside of that. Looking back to where we came that way. Beautiful little basin up here, though. It's funny, when I first got up here, I thought this was the road. Nope, it's the trail. Can't really miss it. It is super wide and pretty prominent up here, even in the middle of the winter. So GPS is good, but probably not 100% necessary. I will say the GPS below tree line was so clutch for me, because I got a little off trail and I was able to get back onto the route. So if there's not a well-established trail like there happened to be today, definitely have a map or GPS to help you kind of avoid some of those avalanche-prone terrain and get you to the summit too. Oh, a wind block. Nice. All right, at the road now. So you can see it goes up that way. What you're going to want to do is cross the road and then follow the trail that goes just next to it. There. Beautiful up here right now. A little windy, but honestly, Pikes Peak, not terrible so far. Looking down into the bottomless pit, you can come up these floors here in the spring. As a nice spring climb. I gained unnecessary elevation by going too far up from the road, so until you reach a point where the trail clearly diverts up from the road, just stay close to it, because otherwise you're gaining elevation for no reason. I got some nice views of the bottomless pit, but I could have dealt without that extra little climb since I didn't need it. Since there's a wind block here, I'll show you the rest of the way. So basically the road curves off to the right and the trail is going to go to the left and go up like that. Looking back, so you came from there, or if you were me, up there, but basically you're going to cross the road at this bend, get onto the trail here, and Follow it up this way. From here, the road goes up that way, and you're gonna basically go right there. So it's a home stretch, about, I don't know, 800-900 feet of elevation left and about a mile of hiking. So we're definitely getting there. Out of the wind for just 2 seconds. Man, it feels so good. Mentally, just recharging the battery, even with the couple of minutes, if that I have with no wind. But it's just so exposed up here. Pikes Peak is so prominent that like the winds are just crazy. Nothing is stopping them for miles and miles and miles. So you came from over there, and then the easiest way is to just kind of stay next to the road, or on the road, and then come up here, switch back, switch back, switch back. Really close to the summit now. It's just right there, and from here you're just gonna kind of work your way up this slope. About a half mile of hiking and another 500-600 feet, something like that. So pretty steep as well. Oh man, I'm just gassed. Not in shape for this kind of mileage and elevation yet. But V close to the summit of Pikes Peak. I'm gonna take a nice long rest up there. Maybe beg someone to give me a ride back to Devil's Playground. Oh god, road's up there. And you're just gonna go around this corner and the summit is right there. I am wiped right now. This is what you like to see at top of a 14,000 foot mountain, right? What a joke. I hate this part of Pikes Peak, and it's just awful that they're adding more up here. It's literally like a construction zone. Freaking wild. Summit of Pikes Peak. It's gonna be a long trip down. Just about 8 miles, 8.2, but I got a little off track to the summit. And yeah, it's a clusterfuck up here. 1,000 cars. Really like demoralizing. But beautiful day at least. Winds are starting to get to me though. I'll give you some summit views in a second. I'm next to this army building here because it's the only windbreak that I can find to film decent. Time at the summit was short. Just a couple notes, I guess, before heading down. I find it really ironic about leave no trace. Meanwhile, humans build stuff like this on the top of a mountain. It seems kind of counterintuitive to me. But anyway, let's be positive. The views are great. The wind is a little bit mentally, morally defeating right now, so didn't spend much time on the summit, but soaking in the views as much as I can. I'll check in on the way down and have some more notes about Pikes Peak. Whew. All right, down back to Devil's Playground here, so right before you cross the road. And I just wanted to have a couple notes about Pikes Peak since it's just too damn windy up top. But yeah, don't expect a secluded hike. Not in terms of the hike itself, but just in terms of the people that drive up. It was crazy up there, and it's just like construction. So You know, I wouldn't recommend going up soon if you're really looking for those like secluded views, but if you're looking for a good winter hike or to check off Pikes Peak, obviously go for it. The hardest part, trail finding wise, was right after you cross the road from Devil's Playground, like first ribby round. And it wasn't like hard, but it was just, there wasn't really a trail. There's no cairns. It seems like the cairns existed when you actually didn't need them, and they weren't there when you did need them. So the first time I mean, as I said, I went up way too high, but you know, it's not a big deal. It's just like basic route finding. If you know where you're going, you'll be fine. Let's talk about gear for this. Man, I don't know, I'm so torn on snowshoes. Like, I think it's super dependent of what the conditions have been like recently before you come. I really wish I didn't bring mine today, but of course if I didn't bring them, there would have been hell to pay and I would have needed them for, you know, an hour. So yeah, I don't know. Micro spikes, I haven't used them yet today. I'm obviously not back down to the car yet, so maybe I'll use them on the way down, but yeah, I don't know if you really need them, but hiking poles would be probably helpful. There are spots where I kind of wish I had them. I just really don't like using them, but just when it's steep and the snow is kind of sugary and you can't dig into anything, it's nice to have something to grip on. So dogs, geez. Yeah, I mean, you could bring your dog on this. It's like a long day, so I don't know if you'd want to, but if your dog is good in the snow and is used to long, cold days, I don't see why you couldn't. But yeah, I mean, just like Long's Peak, Pikes Peak is super windy, so expect, even if the forecast is calling for like 10-15 degree winds, that's a sustained 10-15, and it's gonna really annoy you after a while. So, you know, just kind of plan for that. Still working my way down, a couple miles left, maybe 3. And yeah, I mean, I think winter hiking, trail finding is always key, but on mountains like Pikes Peak, where, you know, you can stray into avalanche terrain, it's even more key. And literally, this is where I strayed off this morning. And then I just wasn't thinking, because if you look, there's, you know, obviously a block off, and I just for some reason decided to go that way instead of taking the hairpin turn and go this way. It's slow going on the way down because the snow is significantly softened up and there's nothing to really do with it. You can't put on snowshoes because you're too steep, and micro spikes kind of ball up when the snow gets like this. So just slowly chugging my way down these hills. Man, that was a long day. So it's just about 4:30, 4:45. So this is gonna take us about 10 hours, take me about 10 hours. So yeah, plan accordingly. I don't know what your pace is, but yeah. I don't know, I'm torn on Pikes Peak because of the whole drive up thing, but it is a good winter hike. And if you're coming here in the summer, definitely expect it to be crowded. I know this whole time I've talked all about the winter version of it, but summer, this is the shortest option to get up to the summit of Pikes Peak as well. If you do the bar camp, bar trail, that's like 26 or 28 miles round trip. So that's a long day. I've done that before. You can, all the gear that I've used today, including the sunglasses, all snowshoes, etc., you can check the links below and just see what I use. Overall, I definitely would rate this as a difficult hike because of the mileage and elevation combo. It's about 5,000 feet and about 16 miles, like I said. So yeah, just a long day, but rewarding. Only saw 2 people on the mountain today, which was really cool. So yeah, we'll wrap this video up here. If you've hiked Pikes Peak via the northwest slopes recently, go ahead and leave the trail conditions that you had in the pinned comment below. Yeah, thanks for watching. This was a long day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe not to miss any future hike content, and we'll see you, as always, on the next adventure.